Hey guys, KRX here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Henshin Brace Deluxe Mega Uruouder and Necrom Ghost Eyecon from Kamen Ghost. This is the device used by Kamen Necrom to transform and ghost change, along with his personal Ghost Eyecon. This set includes the 2 items listed in the title, along with 2 wrist straps. So, let's get started. To start, we're going to look at the Mega Uruouder itself. And the first thing I'm going to address is the name. Officially, the English name for this is the Mega Uruouder, but that is literally wrong. In Japanese, this is spelled as Mega Uruouda. Now that just doesn't work with English spelling. If it was Mega Uruouda, then that could work, because Uruouda could become loader or lorder. But Uruouda just does not translate like that. It also loses the wordplay. Mega Uruouder is basically a wordplay pun similar to the Mega Mabushi of the Sunglasses Slasher, as if you turn it into Mega Uruouda, it means eyes are moistened, and that's where we get into the design. Now, for the most part, this is an original kind of device. It's this wrist-mounted box that's meant to contain a ghost icon within it. As you can see, it's got a very mechanical look to it, with the main colors here sharing some similarities with the rest of the ghost gear, having that black, silver, and orange, but there's also a good amount of green, with the metallic green paint here on the sides, and then 2 parts of clear green plastic. And up here is where we get to the main part of the gimmick, which is this part, which is meant to resemble a ball of eye drops. And Mega Uruouda means eyes are moistened. So it's a pun on its function as an eyedropper. See that this button outside here has Kamen Necrom's symbol, which is similar to the one for Ghost and Spectre, but instead of being a will-o-wisp, is instead designed to be like a drop of eyedrop liquid. Using the handle, you can also rotate it up like this, where you can see this lens, to which there's a double-layered piece of clear plastic there, which will become more apparent when we get to the lights and sounds. There are also the 2 wrist straps, which attach down here. The one numbered 2, the shorter one, going in the front, and the one numbered 1, the longer one, going in the back. That's what it looks like with the wrist straps attached, but for the sake of ease of use particularly, I'll be demonstrating it without the wrist straps. Next, we have the Necrom Ghost Eyecon. Like the Tokon Boost Ghost Eyecon, this has built-in sounds to it, but unlike Tokon Boost, this is a more unique design. Taking a look at it, you can see that the base design is quite a bit different from any other Ghost Eyecon. And that's because this is basically an artificial Ghost Eyecon. It's more box-like in shape, and it isn't rounded up in the front. It does have a base black color like the Aura and Spectre Ghost Eyecons. It also has a green metallic stripe going around the body in the middle. On the front, you can see that it has a different type of display than the rest, and because this is an electronic Ghost Eyecon, there's no panel switching, so instead they decided to base the entire thing on the face of Necrom's base form, which has a silver frame, green horn, and a basically iris similar to the ones of the Ganma Ghost Eyecons and the kind of normal default modes of the regular icons in the center, which is covered with a clear green kind of lens. Then on the top we have the Sigger, which has an N for Necrom, his name at the bottom, and then what would be the transformation symbol if this functioned like a regular ghost icon. Though what stands out is that instead of being just a single strip that goes down, it also kind of spreads out to the sides. That would have been nice if it was more of a square so we could get the full image, but it still is quite nice and has a more unique holographic pattern than other ghost icons. On the bottom we have the panel with the pin sets, which is also clear green, as well as a button similar to the one on the Tokon Boost icon that'll come into play later. What we also see are a second set of pins, which I will explain when we get to the functionality. Now, on its own, this has 3 sounds it cycles through by pressing the button on the side, similar to Tokon Boost, but instead of being kind of generic sounds, these are actual phrases.
Stand by. Loading. Destroy.
And these will cycle through continuously, and there's also no sound that it makes when you hold down the button.
Stand by. Loading. Destroy.
And of course the speaker is right back here. Next we'll get to the electronic functions of the Mega Uruouder. Starting off, I want to switch it on with this switch on the side. We'll get a startup line sound. And unlike the other devices, it just has that one sound, it doesn't say its name. So on its own, you press this button here, it'll just get you an error sound. Same if it's up here like this. To get started, you need to activate the Necrom Ghost icon. So press the switch once.
Stand by.
Then set it inside, like so.
Yes, sir.
Rotate it up. And press the button on the side.
Loading.
And press the button on top.
Tengan, Necrom, Mega Uruoud.
And there we have the transformation into Kamen Necrom. Now what you'll notice there is that basically what happened is that essentially the icon kind of spoke to and commanded the Mega Uruouder. As the first phrase it said was stand by, and then when you put it in response the Mega Uruouder says yes sir. Then of course this button is pressed, and then you press the button for the activation where it drops liquid into the eyes, and you kind of see that there was a ripple effect there, which is caused by the double layers. So then you can activate the special attack by pressing the button again, and again pressing the switch on top.
Destroy. Die Tengan, Necrom, Omega Uruoud.
Now one thing to note is that it doesn't matter which position that this is in when you actually press the button, it just matters that you press it all the way, as there's a second switch inside this which is pressed down when you push it in all the way to activate the sounds in the device. If you push it in like this, it won't actually work. You have to push it in all the way. If you press it again, it'll cancel out. Let's do that one more time.
Stand by. Dai Tengan, Necrom, Omega Uruoud.
And then to deactivate the transformation, just switch it back to the down position and remove the icon. You can also use other ghost icons in it, like the Ori ghost icon. So they'll all make the same generic sound, as it'll demonstrate.
Tengan, Ghost, Mega Uruoud.
And it won't matter if you press it again or not, it'll continue making the same sound.
Tengan, Ghost, Mega Uruoud.
And that's because of the way it works. Unlike the Ghost Driver, it has a separate pin system, which consists of two switches on the sides of the inner cavity. And that's where these side pins come in. With these, it presses the two buttons on the side, and so that means there are only 3 combinations. 4 if you count the combination of having none of them pressed. Having both of them pressed activates Necrom, then the individual ones will activate his 2 ghost changes. Additionally, the Necrom Ghost icon can also function with the Ghost Driver, though it does so in a slightly different way.
Stand by. Necrom!
So with this, you have more sounds than you got from the Token Boost icon, as most of them actually come from the Necrom icon itself, including the standby sound, which is unique to it. And this has to do with how it functions in the show, where instead of just being used for normal transformation, instead takes over the rider who has it in their belt and puts them under the control of the wearer of the Mega Uruouder. It also has a Omega Drive and Omedama.
Necrom! Omega Drive!
Though unlike with the normal Ghost Driver icons, to get Omedama you have to, it basically does it once every 4 pulls. So after the first one you have to do it just 3 more times to get Omedama.
Necrom! Omedama!
So overall, this is a very interesting toy. This is the first time since the DN drivers from Masked Rider Decade that a rider's Henshin device has both not been a belt and not been called a driver. Or, I guess in that case it's the first time since the Dark Kivat belt that a rider's Henshin device has not been called a driver. And so it definitely stands out. Of course, like most secondary transformation devices for Rider series, it doesn't have as many sounds, but in a way that could be a bit of a good thing, as for this, you only really need a couple of things to get all the sounds out of this, which would be the set itself, which has the Necrom ghost icon, and then the final ghost icon set, which will give you the 2 ghost change sounds for Necrom, as well as a regular ghost icon to get you the generic ghost sound, though technically you can do that without even having an icon in there. While I didn't show it off, the one problem I have with this is actually wearing it, as essentially the wrist straps are a bit on the small side, so not everybody is going to be able to wear them, at least as far as adult collectors go, and it's actually kind of tough to activate it while wearing it, as because it's so bulky, the way you're supposed to do it is to activate it with by just pressing your thumb onto the button with the device rotated up. But because you have to press it on the way, that's a little bit tough because it tends to shift with your arm instead of staying in place. So it's better if played with off your arm than on it. But aside from that, I think it's well executed. It's an interesting way of kind of continuing the eyeball theme, as well as continuing the wordplay. So if you're a fan of Kamen Rider Necrom, I can definitely recommend picking up this toy. And if you're not so much of a big fan, it's really not much of a necessary thing, as the Necrom Ghost icon makes most of its own sounds in the Ghost Driver instead of activating new sounds in it. So if you want to get it, then go ahead, but if you don't want to, it's easy to pass on. So next time I'll be reviewing the Jibanyan one-man show. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and or subscribe. You can check me out on Facebook at facebook.com/KRX50. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.